Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie, and we're kicking off the new year with a completely new experience. Happy New Year, everyone. So, Phil normally does these little unveilings all by himself, but I could not pass up an opportunity to butt my nose in, butt my mouth in. I don't know. Just butt in and try this.
This is definitely going to be a unique experience, and what a way to kick off 2021 with something totally new. This is the Boss Hog, the Samurai Scientist, the 6th edition of Whistlepig's crazy aged finished barreling experiment. I honestly don't even know what to say about it. I'm not going to go into really much history on this. This is a Vermont company sourcing their whiskey from Canada, aging it in barrels here in America, and this particular whiskey is rye whiskey aged for 16 years, and then they put it in umeshi barrels from Japan. That's plum wine. This is going to be super weird. We never would have bought this for ourselves.
And we didn't.
When we didn't. We received a call from a terrific client who said, there's a bottle for you, you have to go pick it up. And we went to the liquor store, we're handed this crazy box. I'm not super familiar with Whistlepig in general, had no idea what they were handing me, and got home and looked it up and realized this is a $500 bottle of whiskey.
I feel very unqualified to be here today.
I don't even feel like we should have this in the house. It's crazy. Bottom line is, this is not your typical Whiskey in the Van Wednesday bottle. We are going to try this one out together, and we really have no idea what to expect. This is our first Whistlepig bottle. What a way to start.
I know. And super grateful.
Super grateful.
Yeah.
What a wonderful gift. What a tremendously beautiful bottle. Great packaging. It's spectacular. I can't wait to try this. So we poured it and we've been letting it sit. This is, again, 16 years aged with finishing in umeshi barrels, single barrel batch, bottled at 120 proof. We really have no idea what to expect.
And look at this cute little pig on top.
Look at the little pig. My favorite part is that it's got a little curly cute tail sticking out of the samurai outfit on the back. It's just clever packaging, beautiful bottle. What do you think? Should we give this a shot?
Cheers.
Cheers.
And I won't go in because
No, we gotta nose
we're gonna work
this
our
one.
way into this one.
I even wore a collared shirt
I
today. I had to class it up just a little bit. Still flannel, but a little
It's the
bit.
new year. Gotta start it off right.
That's right. The very first thing that I get is leather. Just black leather, like not suede type leather, like
Tough?
Yeah, that tough black motorcycle leather jacket type thing.
I get a little bit of a faint sweetness. Faint.
There's definitely sweetness there. At first I thought it was a fruit funk, but it's more like a marshmallow. There's mintiness, and the rye spice gets right into your nose.
Yeah, I got it right in.
There's a lot. Leather, a hint of tobacco maybe. It's something else too though.
Well, you're doing good. You got a lot more out of that than I did.
It's so complex. I think there's chocolate here, but I can't tell if it's chocolate or if it's barrel char. My nose isn't that well attuned. Are you ready to try this thing?
I am ready.
All right, let's do
I'm
it.
excited. Ooh, it's warm.
There's some heat on that.
It my eyes are watering. The heat went back a little bit, came forward, up the nose, and then back down for the watery eyes.
Whoa, what a ride.
I think it's kind of delicious. A little bit of like a mapley sweetness or something.
There's a buttery, tongue-coating thing happening here. It's definitely got rye spice in it, that tongue-tingly effect.
It is not like tart cherry fruit sweetness. There's
Not
none
at
of
all.
that in this.
Not at all.
Zero.
I've got even more of that marshmallow now. When I took the tiniest sip, just put it on the front of my palate, I got a ton of marshmallow. Now that I'm just like sitting with it on my breath, I'm getting more mint. Just a hint of the leather now. I had a lot more leather on the nose previously.
Whew, it's hot. Some of the other ones that we've tried are hotter, but
Yeah.
it does have a proof to it for sure.
It doesn't drink 120 hot though, I don't think.
I wouldn't know. But I am getting a like a tobacco-y leather taste to this now. It's pretty rich.
It's really rich. That marshmallow for me is almost showing up with a little bit of a butterscotch on the tail end of it.
Ooh.
The sweetness in here is
What's interesting,
really complex.
Each sip is so different. So different.
Totally agree.
3 distinct sips here, and each one I've come up with something different.
It's a buttery, rich mouthfeel. It's spicy, but it's not like super hot proof spice. It's more like real rye spice, the grain, and
it's got a nice finish too. Like I was just thinking about how it's still a little warm, but through that warmth, you're still getting like flavors.
The oak is definitely coming through, and also peppermint, not spearmint. For me, it's more peppermint on the finish. That mintiness is great.
Now I'm getting the mint. That's so funny that you just said that, and I just got mint on that one. We're not going to call this a review, but just a experience maybe. I'm not sure. I like it.
Yeah, with a question mark on it, I agree.
I'm a little bit thrown because I know how much it costs, and I would never pay that much money for
any whiskey.
Anything. So that throws me a bit that this glass costs that much money. I am enjoying it.
So this year we've tried a lot of different ryes. In terms of complexity, this is easily, probably by a 4 or 5 times, the most complex rye I've ever had. Incredible flavors.
With the rye too, like the ryes we've had, like there's been some like spicy notes at the end, and this isn't a rye like that.
Some of that spice is tamped down, I think, by the umeshi barrel finishing process. I don't know how long this whiskey spends in those umeshi barrels. I haven't been able to find that online, but it definitely knocks back some of the rough edges on this. There's a spice to it, and it dances a little bit on your tongue, but it's not rough in any way. It's surprisingly smooth and buttery. It's viscous, and maybe that contributes to it too. I don't know, but it's really tasty.
So I will say, compared to some of the other bourbons and whiskeys that we've drank over the last year, the initial nose was a little lacking for me. The nose definitely gets better the more that it breathes, I guess.
Every time I return to the nose, there's more there.
Yeah, and I'm getting more of that toasted marshmallowy. I don't know if that's what you call it, toasted marshmallow, like the char on the on the edges. Absolutely. Like that gooey char. Like I'm getting that on the nose now.
There's a ton of complexity here. The leather and the marshmallow have pretty much taken over the nose for me. I actually can't believe that leathery marshmallowy combination. That's something else. I've never experienced that on a whiskey before, not to this extent.
So we're not here to give a recommendation of this one or an unrecommendation, really. We're just kind of here to enjoy it. Ooh, and as I'm talking a little bit more, the heat is building and building and building. It's kind of fun. We're just grateful that we have the opportunity to try something like this.
Yeah, it's a special treat. We will not give any sort of value determination on this bottle, whether it's worth your money or not.
I mean, if you got $500 sitting around that you don't know what to do with.
This is a single barrel product, so the flavors will vary from batch to batch. In my opinion, what we were drinking is complex, flavorful, and delicious. I love the nose on this. Probably a top 10 nose, in my opinion, of any whiskey I've ever had. Just so unique. It's such a crazy experience. I couldn't really compare this to any other bottle I've ever had.
The finish on this has lasted much longer than 90% of the bourbons that I've tried.
Yeah, the finish on this lasts an eternity.
It is, phenomenal is too big of a word. It's just nice. It's rich. It coats. I'm really enjoying the finish on this one.
It would be hard for me to overstate how much I'm enjoying this. I was looking forward to it simply because A, it was a gift, B, a $500 whiskey. When do you get to have that?
We don't get to have
We don't. I've never had anything like that. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and honestly, I was kind of expecting it to be something so bizarre that I wouldn't really appreciate it, but this is right in the wheelhouse. I'm enjoying this. This is delicious.
I'm enjoying it as well. I shouldn't be surprised. I really wanted to enjoy it because I would have felt really guilty if I took a sip and was made a weird face or something oh, this is terrible. And I didn't. I like it. Obviously, this can never be a daily drinker or a weekly drinker or a monthly drinker, but it's definitely where we're going to try to impress and pretend like we paid all this money for this.
It's really great. And you've been talking about the finish, and I'm just sitting here just breathing out, and there's leather, tobacco, that marshmallow note. I can't believe the marshmallow note that's hanging around. That is blowing me away. This
is finished in those umeshi barrels, which I don't know much about. And I don't know if it's contributing that much to the flavor of the overall, but I think it has a lot to do with this wonderful finish that I'm experiencing.
Yeah, and we when we were in Japan in 2018, we drank a lot of plum wine.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was kind of my obsession while we were there, and
Yeah.
I
was
really
gonna say, I
love
think
it.
you probably drink a
Yeah.
lot of plum wine.
I can tell you, I don't really get plum wine. On the finish, I get some of that, just a touch of stone fruit flavor, but it's not, even plum wine itself it doesn't really taste like plums to me, but I'm getting some of that familiar sweetness from it on the finish, just on my breath. As I'm talking right now, it's bringing up some of that fruit flavor. Beyond that, I really think that the Umeshi barrels, like I said before, I think it's just softening the edges on that 16-year-old rye. You would maybe expect this to be overly oaky after that much time in the barrel or something like that. There are still bright flavors here. I don't get any sort of must like you would get on a lot of products that have been in a barrel that long. It's really, really surprising to me. I wish now that I had tried more Whistlepig products leading up to this so that I would know
This is my
how this
first.
really compares. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I'd love to know how this compares to some of their other products, and I know there are people that absolutely love this stuff. I just never really thought about it. You know, Canadian whiskey sourced by an American company. When I'm thinking about bourbon and whiskey, I'm thinking about Kentucky usually. But once again, I think it's time to get out of my comfort zone because this is fantastic and I love what they're doing with it.
And I don't know if this is weird to say, but I enjoyed the finish of this glass more than I enjoy the nose and the palate. The palate was delicious, but the finish, I keep saying this, but the finish is exceptional for me. I've never tasted another whiskey that had this kind of finish.
Right.
And maybe that, again, goes back to the barreling processes.
Bingo.
I like it. And if you
Yeah.
get the opportunity, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm saying give it a shot. Like maybe you see it on someday, see it on a drink menu in your favorite speakeasy.
I think that there's actually another edition that's been released now.
Okay.
They do an annual release here. I'm really glad that this is the one that we got to try. I couldn't speak to any of the other ones, obviously, or any of their other products, but I'm certainly glad that somebody bought it for us, and it's going to continue to be a very rare treat for us.
I couldn't agree more, and I really appreciate you letting me bogart your unveiling for my own selfish benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, this
I'm
video,
just
this tasting has no business being a Whiskey in the Van Wednesday, and so it won't be. We will release this on a Monday.
Oh, Whiskey in the House Monday.
Whiskey in the House Monday. That's right. I don't really have any other notes. I'm just going to spend more time with this glass. It's tremendous. There's not much more to say. We really can't do it justice with our tasting notes anyways. I would say the nose is very unique. The palate is extremely complex. The finish lasts an eternity.
Love that finish. I do. I just love it.
And we're
I felt like Elf right there. Love it.
and we're just enjoying the heck out of it.
Well, thanks for letting me come along for the ride.
Thank you for joining me.
So from wherever we are,
To wherever you are.
Happy New Year, guys.
Cheers. Super good.
The finish on this is phenomenal.